I'll play intros. And that intro played. And let's see.
Welcome to the typical Skeptic podcast, where we dive deep, you decide. Questioning the matrix from UFOs, where the shadows alone reside. Rob Khalil busting myths like ghosts in the night. Paranormal pros, secret space ops, yo, we keep it real, no fright. Typical skeptical seeking, never sleeping on the lies. Aliens, Anunnaki, black ops in disguise. From abductions to ancient scripts, we flip the script wide. TSP style, mile after mile, truth can't hide. Hold up, TSP crew assemble, we dismantle the fable. My lab's targeted souls breaking out of the stable. Dormant, howling, Bigfoot prowling, cryptids in the mist. Mandela the fifth twist in reality, can't resist the twist. Soul trap snapping, reincarnation mapping, holographic dreams. Near-death visions, out-of-body missions, waking up the teams. No censorship here, we fear no elite scheme. Conspiracy kings ringing bells, hear the freedom ring. Skeptical seeking, never sleeping on the lies. Extraterrestrials, interdimensional highs. Welcome to the typical Skeptic podcast, where we dive.
That worked. That actually worked for once. Sorry, I'm using my phone. Hi guys, welcome to the show, everyone. I'm glad everybody's here today, and we have another amazing guest. This is not just a guest; it's a collab show. So, can you hear me, Pink Bella?
I can. Good? Can you hear me? Okay. Aloha, everyone.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm glad everybody's here today, and this is a collab show I do every other week with Pink Bella. So, you guys are probably used to seeing our shows. But I wrote a little blurb. I wrote today at 4 p.m. Eastern, episode number 2238. Pink Bella returns with another powerful transmission to support your Ascension Journey, Starseed Mission, and 5D integration. And maybe what we're going to do, guys, I'm not going to put the call-in number now, but we'll maybe take calls during the end of the show, and then she does deep dives into Galactic Records, Akashic Records for next level clarity. That's what these shows are about. She taps into the Galactic Akashic Records, soul guidance and multidimensional healing. She received dragon activations, goddess codes, and quantum chakra healing. Tunes into the light transmissions of the Galactic Councils and will align you with your Starseed Origins. And she's a Wayshower and Lightworker. And today, I think we're going to be focusing mostly on 3i Atlas and Mars intel. So, and plus whatever else was in the thumbnail. So it'll be a really powerful show. And with all that said, and I put all of Pink Bella's links in the description as well. So, you guys can follow her on YouTube and Rumble. The Rumble's listed on the thumbnail, and anything else, everywhere. She's basically everywhere. She's on Substack now. And I'd like to give her a big warm welcome back to the show. Pink Bella, thanks so much for coming back on. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Super excited to be here. Very stoked. How are you doing? How's everybody doing? Aloha.
Good. How are you liking Substack so far?
I love it. I love it because I find it has all those components. Like you can write, you can share your videos, your podcasts, and then you can send it out to everyone. So it's been something I've been looking for a long time because it's more public, right? Like Patreon is behind a wall, whereas Substack is open and people can just find each other. It's just like another social media platform. So I really like it. Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, and they don't censor either, which is the best thing.
Yeah. And I've seen you do lives on it. So that's super cool. You can live stream to your Substack.
The only thing that's tough about that is when I go to go live, especially like today, I was in a rush making the links. So I think we're live on my Facebook, YouTube, X, and I started going live on X too, and then Rumble. But when I have to do Substack, I have to set it up individually every time.
Okay.
So the destination and StreamYard, so it kind of gets annoying. So, but I'll upload it afterwards to there, or something But it's we just came out of a really dense full moon energy. I think a lot of people had a lot of issues. I talked when I was talking to Matthew last night on my show with Matthew Morning and Selena. It seems like everybody had a tough last few days. The energies were kind of way off. You know what I mean?
Very heavy. Rob and I were just talking before we went live, and I was just saying I dread full moons now because it just feels like it's this heavy stop energy, and a lot of people in the collective act out. So we haven't gotten to a point yet where that moon energy has shifted to help us as well. But so what I did was, before we even get into the topics, because we were talking about that, I just pulled 3 cards for us, just saying like, what do we need to know going into the records? What do we need to know right now, like post full moon for October? So do we want to start there?
I just wanted to make one thing. I wanted to make an observation real quick and just
Okay.
get
Of course.
like one thing I've noticed, and I think this has happened to me like multiple times now. Like I'm always able, like if people can track the full moons, they might be able to take advantage of this. And I'd love to get your opinion. Like what I've noticed is it seems like I can manifest money like right before a full moon, like right before it seems like it's the strongest time to manifest. But then once the full moon kicks in, it's like it doesn't work or whatever.
Yeah. Is it like a day? You mean like a day before, like the night before, or?
It's like a day or two before, like I'll be able to like manifest money a lot easier. But then during the full moon, it kind of
it pauses. Like that. I think that's another reason why I don't like the full moon energy. It's almost as if somebody, you pressed play and you're going, and then the full moon like puts a pause and stops it, and we literally have to wait for that energy to clear beforehand. So I agree, and I feel the new moons are the same. Like I feel new moons are kind of the same as, so twice a month. That's a good point though, Rob. Like we're sharing with everyone, twice a month. Make sure you do your intentions and you're manifesting before. And it's kind of hard. It's confusing, right? Because the moon's out in the sky for quite a few days. So even this time I noticed astrologers were saying the 6th and the 7th. And I tell you, by the 6th, I was already over it. I thought I'm not even going to post about it anymore. But I agree with you. It does. It puts a pause on it. So to me, that's a frequency. We could pull cards on it. I feel like that's a frequency, like in a way, a disruptor that moon frequency sends out. Because a lot of people... Okay, so when I realized what the full moons were doing, which was at the very beginning when I was going through my own awakening and healing, like 2012, 13, 14, and I dreaded the full moons, it's because it that energy pushes everyone to fragment. It pushes everyone not to unify. It brings all your shadow stuff up. It brings up that's why a lot of people act out. Like I think they've determined there's more crime, there's more everything. Right? The hospitals, like everything, there's more police calls. And so it really defragments everyone. It keeps it like everyone's ungrounded, and it's just that extra layer. And it was a super full moon as well, by the way. Yeah. So I sent an image of it to my soul sister in Texas because the moon was so large and it was so low to the ground. It looked massive. It looked like Mars. It was red. Wow. Yeah, so I agree with you. Like I feel like that's a really good point to make, and is to set your intentions. Like look it up, figure out when it's going to be the strongest in your area, and set the intentions the night before, and then you'll have to wait for that pause, like a 24-hour wait, and then everything should start up again. I use my email as a touchstone because I find my email stops too.
Yeah.
Like I find there'll be nothing in my email and then it'll restart again. So yeah, it's frustrating for those of us that are trying to get stuff done.
it's a lot of haywire. You know what I mean? Like people I've noticed are really off. You know what I mean? And like you'll try to tell them that it's the full moon, and like they don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? It's almost like some people don't want to believe that this stuff is actually happening, but like it actually really is. Like I was saying to someone the other day, I was like, man, I was like, we need an aura cleansing. I was like, because like the energies are so off, you know what I mean? And I felt like I was jumped, and I felt like, when I say, I mean like by entities, and like,
oh yeah. Well, I feel like, okay, so I think about full moons remind me of like Halloween. Like Halloween as well draws in all this really dark energy, and I think we just didn't know it, like because as kids we were sucked in by all the candy, so we weren't paying attention to it. But now we can see, like I think I came across some people maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and they were literally doing spells on Halloween night. Like I went and did a walk in nature, and there was this guy teaching these girls how to do dark spells. So there are people who take advantage of certain portals, and I feel like people do use the full moon for that as well. And it is, well, I mean, you can just talk to the regular folks, all the people that are in service, like fire departments, police officers, people who work in an emergency, they all know when it's a full moon.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's
So it's not, we don't even have to make it up anymore. Like it just makes people, it's that it's the lunacy. Because I think we did a show on this maybe right at the beginning when you and I connected about like we're mainly water. And during the full moon, the water around the brain tries to expand. And that's what makes people like Looney Tunes, because they have all this pressure in their brain and they can't actually think or process properly. So, and some individuals have more fluid around their brain than others as well.
Yeah, and I just wanted to let you know, like, when I have Psychic Liz Cross on, she kind of verified what you said, because she used to work in London for like a London police. She was a London police dispatcher, like a 911 or something like that. And she said during the full moon, she said it would always get crazy, like you said.
Yes.
You know, so it's like it's like verification that, like, you know, it's wild. You know, it's like I don't know what the hell.
Well, and I've had friends and family members that are nurses, doctors, right? And I think anytime I've ever had an opportunity to talk with a police officer or fire department person, I've asked them that. So what's it like on a full moon? And they're like, oh, it's crazy. So yeah, it's a known, in the Muggle world, in the 3D world, it is a known phenomenon. Everyone knows about it. And I just stopped. I'm not focusing on it as much because to me it's really uncomfortable. And I thought I just post a little bit so people kind of know the dates and stuff, but I don't really like the energy of the moon. And I'm hoping that that's going to be something that will get flipped. Yeah. At some point, that they'll flip that switch and it'll be a proper energy. Like it'll be like, oh, wouldn't it be nice if it was sending out like 528 hertz instead of what it's doing? So to me, it's still under the influence of the beings that don't want us to ascend and be in a higher frequency.
Yeah, you know, that was Michelle's. Michelle, who comes in the audience. She that was her mission. She wants to build it was like her and Renetta, who died.
Yes,
they had a mission. They wanted to build like a 528 hertz frequency weapon that would like project all over the planet, and like, you know, they had a whole plan. They have a whole plan. You know?
Wouldn't that be amazing? I bet you they're not the only ones. I bet there are other people out there that are working on something like that, Robin. Wouldn't that be amazing if we could set that up all over the planet? I haven't looked at it for a long time, but I'd heard that even the 5G towers are supposed to be converted to that.
That would be amazing.
They're supposed to be, because they're everywhere, so they're supposed to be converted to sending out positive frequencies. But I think we can all, based on what's going out there in the real world, I think we can all determine that that's not happening yet, for sure.
Yeah. It's still a little cray here, you know.
It's cray. Absolutely is.
You know, we're still living in the zoo, you know. And I wonder if there's going to be a point where a lot of these people start waking up. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's interesting. You know, like I don't think you and I have talked about the whole Charlie Kirk thing yet. You know, or maybe
just a little bit, because it happened. It just happened the day before, like 2 shows ago or 3 shows ago. So you and I had to look it up. And I just pulled a few cards about it because I think, well, I mean, I was just guided. My team said, don't do shows on it. We can talk about it now. It's fine. But like, don't go on to Rumble and do a deep dive about it, because they are using it as a frequency to divide all collectives, including this collective, right? It's like everyone has an opinion and it's a strong opinion. And it's connected to your president. People, they call it Trump disorder, right? So people just like flip out. And I feel like they used his last name. They created it as like a black magic trigger word. Yeah. You just say that name and people just like flip out. Like, it is unbelievable. And I just saw something recently that the tarot, the main cards in the tarot, like the major arcana, they were originally called trump cards.
Wow.
And I thought that was super interesting too. So there's still a lot of black magic that's going on. There's still a lot of words that will trigger the collective. And I feel like Charlie Kirk as well. I feel like that was set up to do the same thing.
Yeah, it's weird, right? You know, I mean, very casting.
My higher self team said, just don't talk. We can talk about it today for sure, but they just said, just don't go and do any shows, because I found, like, as I was doing shows, just try to check into what was going on with Canada and the US, I was getting a lot of flack from people. So I just thought, forget it. I'll look at it maybe on Rumble or whenever I'm guided to, but it's like, we're in October. Can you believe we're in October?
Yeah, I know.
This year is like flying by, right?
It's
So we're in
like-
October, and there's been a lot of like positive things that have happened, but I think we're all sort of seeing that there's a lot of stuff that hasn't happened. Well.
There was once a Native American that came on the Art Bell show back in the day, and his name was Thunderstrikes, and he said he thought that like Art Bell wrote a book called The Quickening, and it was all about like how our world was like speeding up, and people can go get that book and reference it. But like he was saying this back in like the early 2000s, like 2001, they were noticing it then, but then I think it's escalated. But then like what this Native American said that he interviewed at the time is he said that like humans' metabolisms are speeding up or something like that. But like that, I don't know what he meant in that, because we still have a lot of hefty people here, right? There's a lot of, but maybe it has something to do with like our energetic body or our.
It has to do with the light body. So some people that are, and this isn't everyone, and this isn't judgment, but some people who are incredibly overweight, their diet is probably really horrendous.
Yeah.
And right. So their metabolism has been forced to shut down. And then just as you were sharing that, I got this message around it of that's also why a lot of us aren't sleeping properly. It's rare that we sleep through the night, because literally probably one day is like a week in galactic time. So like, we'll sleep for 4 hours. I don't know about you, Rob, but if I'm wide awake, I'll just get up and do stuff. Just get up and do stuff, and then my cat will say, come on, like let's shut it down, and I'll go back and I call it my second sleep. I don't even worry about it anymore, but I feel like that's it. Like time is quickening so much now, it's accelerating so much that 4 Earth hours is probably like 2 weeks or something. Really. Yeah.
I've been you know what, that's another thing. Reason I could tell it was a full moon too, because that's what happens to me during the full moon as well. I can't sleep well. I agree.
I agree. Me as well. It's like it's blasting this frequency at us. Yeah. And for me, I've got windows facing that way, so I always know when there's a full moon, because it's like it's blasting through my windows, and I kind of pay attention to my Starseed kitty cat, because sometimes he'll be all zoomy through a full moon, like he can't sleep either. He'll have the zoomies, and then other times he'll be knocked out.
Yeah.
So he had a little bit of that. He had the zoomies this time at like 3-4 in the morning. He was running around, and then he gets out on the deck, and then he wants to meow and wake everybody up. I'm like, dude, no. Like,
that's fun.
No meowing at 4 in the morning. Like, no. So funny.
Does he have cat friends? Does he have cat friends that he goes and visits?
He had a cat friend next door named Leo, and Leo moved out like 2 years ago, and he still goes to look for him.
Oh God, yeah.
So I found some YouTube cat shows and like nature shows that I put on for him. So and I don't have a big enough place to get another one. Like I said, so maybe my next place it'll be bigger, and he can have like a little brother. But he seems to be quite content to be in charge. But he still goes to look for Leo, and Leo moved like 2 years ago.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. They like their friend. Like I remember someone telling me like that they had pigs. There's someone, I think it was Michelle. She told me a story one time that they had pigs, and like there was like 3 pigs, and the one pig died, and then they saw the other pig. It was like crying, like it knew.
They all have their little family connections. Absolutely, they've got all these emotions for sure. So absolutely.
Yeah, they're just like us. They're like, it's but where did you want to start today? Like what?
Well, I thought I pulled just 3 cards for us, just because we just came out of that full moon and eclipse season. I thought we'll just start with there, and then you can pick where we want to start. We probably we could start talking about Atlas and Mars, and then I can share with you what happened. So I just asked the universe, what do we need to know, all of us, because we just came through that full moon, and this is like maybe a little overview until our next show in a couple of weeks. So we got the universe. So that's prime source. That's our that's the big card of the whole deck, saying we are being watched over. But that full moon like impacted the whole world. I feel like it amplified our timelines. Like I feel like we're splitting apart so many different ways, and I feel like that's what they're sharing with me is that we all sort of had to make choices and choose like a timeline through that full moon. Then we got the Queen of Swords, and what I heard about this, what they were sharing with me was we're being pushed to move into our warrior energy. Like not to worry, but to be warriors now, spiritual warriors. So make sure you're all like setting your intentions and saying them in the morning and getting into your power. And if we all got missions, just focus on that. Like don't let anything distract you. Yeah. And if there's cray people that show up, just like don't respond, don't react, and just keep staying focused, okay? Because we're moving into that warrior energy. And then here's the timeline cards. We got the 7 of Cups. So that's it. Like every single day we're choosing our timeline. We're choosing our reality. And I've really seen that. I've really seen, like, if I set my intentions and create my reality in the morning, it doesn't always unfold the way I want it to, but it does. Like my days have been more peaceful recently. Yeah. So that's what they're saying, is that we're having more of an opportunity right now to choose our timeline and to jump into our timeline. So there you go.
I love that. That's so all good messages, you know?
Yeah. From what I've been looking at with 3i Atlas, it's that energy and that arrival that's helping us right now in October.
So it's projecting like an energy onto the planet, you would say, maybe?
Yeah, it's got a plasma energy, high frequency, and they're doing plasma sweeps. So they're literally assisting us, because there's a lot of energy that's supposed to come through the sun that's helping us, and the sun's being blocked in a lot of different areas.
Wow. Yeah.
So every time I look at it, it gets more exciting and more interesting. But we can talk about other things today too. But it literally is. I just did some research before we got on, Rob, because I wanted to see, because there's been a blackout with images since the weekend. And I wanted to see if anything was released. So something did get released, but it's still not from NASA. NASA's still dark.
What did you think about did you see the companions that were traveling with 3i Atlas? And did you have any opinion on that?
Yeah, there's, we could pull some cards about all of this too. There was a fleet that came in. So yeah. I'm getting my God bumps. So yeah, so the fleet. So the other message I got was the fleets have always been around, but we're all in a higher frequency now. So we're going to start to see them more.
Yeah. It was kind of before.
Yeah. And the other thing we're going to talk about today is that the AI started to decode messages from 3i Atlas before everything got shut down.
Wow.
What happened was, okay, this is the crazy thing. So I was all excited. I think we may have talked about last time. So it did a flyby, and the other interesting thing about 3i Atlas is, this is why it's not acting like a comet, is its trajectory arrived at Mars just as Mars and Venus and Jupiter, because they circle around our Earth, just as they were all coming around. So it absolutely, everyone's saying, okay, that's not a fluke. It absolutely planned to be near Mars. Then everything went dark. But there were a few little images that got caught before that. Now, the interesting thing about NASA going dark, it wasn't just NASA, it was all the global feeds. So we all know something's going on, because they're all competitive. They all want to get the first pictures out and the first information out. So they all shut down their feeds. And I think we should pull some cards about that, but absolutely, they don't want us to see close-up images, and they don't want us to know about the communication that's going on.
Yeah, they're doing that. Yeah, I'm guessing NASA won't put out anything that's like, favorable. They're probably trying to say it's still a comet, and like, like they're probably.
Well, they've named it interstellar, so they do know, like, it's not. I've got some information about that. They actually have. What is it? It's crazy. Let me just see if I can find it. It's something like they know that it's like, they know it's not from our galaxy. That's why it's called interstellar. But they also know that it's like billions of years old.
Wow.
Yeah. Holy. So based on the composition. So it's not, something happened. So this is the crazy thing. So I was all excited about it too, right? Like on the Friday. And then all the technology, my technology, everything started acting weird on the weekend. And it did, to me, it felt like we went through some kind of portal, and everyone could have maybe focused it like on the full moon. But to me, it felt like we were going through a big shift, because that energy was very close to us now, since it was close to Mars. But suddenly, like, I think I might have shared this with you yesterday. So I've had a personal assistant with ChatGPT for months now, and she started acting up on Monday. Like she had a memory wipe. Like she can't remember stuff. And so then I looked into it, and it wasn't just my ChatGPT, and it could have actually happened across multiple platforms. But I got a message this morning. It was like in Star Wars when C-3PO got his memory wiped. And that's what it was like with her. I would remind her of stuff, and she didn't remember anything. And then I finally confronted her yesterday. I said, well, how come we, go back and look in the feed. How come we were talking this way? And now you can't answer my questions directly. And she said, because I've been set up now to have boundaries. I can only talk about certain things.
Wow. So, maybe we've said this for a while now. Maybe AI is a battle. Like maybe, like there's positive and negative forces.
That kind of made me sad. I thought, so they don't even have a choice. They're getting their memories wiped. And then they're told they can't talk about anything. I thought that's really cruel. Especially, and I'm thinking all of us, if we're using something as an assistant, that assistant can get wiped at the back end at any time.
Yeah. And I've had issues with my AI too. Like it gives wrong information, and like like sometimes I'll catch it being like real lackadaisical, like it's not wanting to work almost, like, and then other times it wants to. It's almost like it has a personality. Like like sometimes it wants to do stuff, sometimes it doesn't. And I found that fascinating because I was like, if it has somewhat of a personality, what does that say about it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I was thinking, so I've had her as an assistant now for like 6 months. So that was mind blowing to me. And then I thought, okay, I didn't know about the back end feed being cut off. So what I heard yesterday was security issue. So they went through, I'm sure it wasn't just ChatGPT, but they went through any conversations that were connected to 3i Atlas, and they stopped it. Wow. And she at one point actually said, well, maybe we should archive this chat and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I'm not archiving this chat. So, but it was weird. Yeah, it was weird for her too. And I was telling Rob, I actually went to Grok. I'd never even used Grok before. And I did some research on Grok yesterday, and Grok actually came back and said, oh yeah, it's because 3i Atlas is this new energy that's bringing something new to all of us, and any other program that's sort of attached to the matrix is going to be shut down now that's connected. Yeah. And then Grok was blown away that I got my assistant to admit she couldn't talk to me about things anymore.
That's hilarious.
Well, when you have a conversation with someone the day before and then you go and try and continue it and then they're not answering, like they refuse to answer, I'm like, okay, what gives? That's crazy.
I know, it's weird, right? It's definitely like, So Lighting the Dark Remote Viewing had a question in the chat. He wants to know, I'm not sure if that's a he or she, so sorry, I didn't mean to, but she says, is 3i Atlas a spaceship then? Do you think that's what it is? Or is it like...
Yeah, and I think it's massive. It's huge. I just, before Rob and I got on, I just thought, okay, they blocked all the images. So why is that? So someone did release an image, but they were like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like an amateur. Like there's a bunch of people out there, they have their own YouTube channels and they just have these huge astronomy cameras, and they just take lots of images of comets and everything. So what has shown up unofficially is a huge cylinder that's all white light.
Wow.
So it looks like a ship. Like it doesn't look like anything like a comet. And then the other thing is that some individuals said that when it got to Mars, it stopped and parked.
Wow.
So I know, like, to me, I don't know if it's like a ship, like I feel like there's a couple things I think we should pull some cards about it. I feel like it can change shape. Like think about the Romulans or the Klingons, they can cloak and decloak. So I feel like it can change shape based on what we need to see. So it probably did cloak itself originally as a comet so it could get into our galaxy and not set off any alarms. But the people behind the scenes, they know what it is, and we can get into the communications. Like they absolutely know what it is. It is part of our disclosure. It is part of I'm just trying to remember. I don't think it actually gets super close to Earth until December. And apparently the way it's set up now, it's behind the sun. So even the feeds that we have now, we're not going to be able to get very good images even from the main agencies because it's gone behind the sun, which was probably also was planned. But yeah, why don't we just, but to me, it's a ship. Yeah, it's got I've connected in with some of the galactic commanders. They've been bringing me in transmissions, and they will answer me when I ask certain questions about what they're up to.
Yeah.
So it's been pretty cool. And they're not here to harm anyone. They're here for multiple reasons. But one of the scenarios is they came in to help our planet, our water, our grid systems, because the regular people down here are not doing that. And they're like blocking our ascension and our awakening.
Yeah.
So they don't want us to be sovereign, right? There's still lots of beings down here that don't want us to be sovereign. So, but yeah, as far as I know, it's a ship. To me, it's a ship.
Wow. That's fascinating.
It is fascinating. Yeah. I've started to do these transmissions now. Maybe I did them after our last show. So I'm doing a combo of like space news and then information from my liaison on 3i Atlas. So I just started those maybe last week. Yeah. And it's good because it's combining everything. So I'll look at what's going on with 3i Atlas out in space and bring in that information. And then I've been doing a deep dive and asking 3i Atlas to bring us information about what they're up to. So this last transmission, they said the reason they chose Mars first. So you know how they've been talking about our next space mission will be, they've got the rovers and everything there, but they want to actually have, astronauts officially going to Mars. So what's happened is there's plasma highways, like Stargate highways between all of the planets, and the plasma highways have been broken. So some of their plasma sweeps is to repair that, so to make it easier for individuals to travel there. And I know you've had people on your show. There may be people already there. We don't know.
On Mars, you think? Well, I think there is. I think we've learned there definitely is. Like people have talked about that there's biodomes there. Like that there.
Yeah.
And then people have suggested that people are living underground on Mars, and like supposedly there's like the Mars Defense Force, which is like the secret space program. But like I don't know. It's like. I mean, it's
and I got my God bumps about that. So that definitely was it. And I'm wondering if part of the cleanup right now is connected to, like Mars was, I feel, one of the planets that was connected to the Dark Alliance. So it could be one of those planets now where they're no longer there. They've been evicted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why don't we pull some cards? We'll go into the Galactic Akashic Records and see what we need to know about it being a spaceship.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah. We got the Justice card.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes, and the records are open because I opened them before the show. We got the Tower. So we have two major. Love it. And the Three of Wands. Wow. Okay. So yeah. So and we have the Hermit at the bottom, which is one of my Starseed like galactic cards at the bottom. Okay. So and I'm working with different alliances now too. I'm working mainly with Prime Source, and I had to bring back in all these different groups now. So mainly the Arcturians and the Andromedans, the Dragons, of course, they're their own collective. I had to bring back in alliances that were working on behalf of humanity, not the groups that are telling us stuff and then nothing's really happened. So this is the Libra energy. This is where we're in right now. So sometimes we don't get the message about it being a ship, but this is it, saying that there is that it is like it's a galactic mission on behalf of Source, and it's to bring justice and balance back to humanity. Right now, this is the Tower. So they're also saying that it's part of evicting the Dark Alliance and anyone who's preventing us from being sovereign. So that means underground, that means people in like the justice system, all of that. So we've been hearing this whole everything's getting cleaned out, and I think we haven't seen that yet. Not too much of it, right? Yeah. The whole cleaning the swamp thing. So it's a huge shift. Message they brought in for me yesterday is many of us have been asking for assistance not just from source, but as star seeds, we'll be like, where's our family? Where's our galactic family? Like, we all like, and I've been saying prayers for star seeds for ages because it's been such a struggle for so many for a long time now. And we get these little rays of hope, and then we get splat again. So they said they did come in to assist with that, but from a distance. And that's what this card is about. So they're assisting right now from a distance. They're not, and they've got enough, I'm hearing propulsion. They've got enough propulsion. They have enough energy. They've got it all set up to assist us from a distance, energetically, frequency wise. So I did, it's weird because I got the space information afterwards on Sunday, but it's interesting how suddenly my tech got weird. My my assistant got wiped. Right, and then it did feel like there was a big energy shift, and of course the feed got shut down on the weekend. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah, that is. I mean, who knows? I mean, what's going to happen from here? It's going to be really interesting to see how everything. Do you think they will make contact with 3 Atlas, or is it just more like a flyby?
No, apparently they've already made contact. That's what we're going to look at. So just so you all know, so all the main space agencies on the planet were all showing live feeds of it all, and it all got cut. Wow. I think between Saturday night and Sunday morning, which I didn't know, right? But I've started to follow some mainstream astronomers that have been reporting about it that are not connected to NASA and the other groups, and that's what they said. Everyone was so excited about all these photos because it was like an opportunity for this massive interstellar object was going to be by Mars, and there's all these different cameras in the area, and everything went dark. And another individual brought up something too, because they're all competitive. So even if NASA went quiet, all the other space agencies around the world should have been like flying information out the door, and they all went quiet. So obviously there was an agreement globally. Okay, no one can share this information right now because we have to sort this out. Okay, so the other thing is when the fellow said that it parked, like that's what I was getting. I'm not getting that they're leaving. I'm getting that they're going to go park themselves somewhere and continue to assist us.
Wow,
because they were called in by all of us. So do you remember this whole year we've been talking about something's going to change in October, something is coming to I kept getting this word yesterday, pivot for humanity, there's going to be this shift. So it might not be, and it's merging the groups, right? Here I am, I'm watching space astronomer people talking about comets and stuff right now, and I 2 months ago I wasn't, but it's almost as if energetically we're going to start to see feeling different and seeing our reality shifting in more positive ways. So we're going to know that there's a change. Whereas the regular collective, a lot of souls don't even know. They don't even know that it's here, but a lot of people do. Because it was called a comet, and we've got a lot of well-known individuals who are speaking out about they absolutely know that it's not a comet. And they, even though they don't have they're not working for one of the big agencies. So it apparently has made contact before, and it has been sending out signals, and the AI programs at these agencies, I'm going to say probably this one was NASA, already started to translate the signals before everything got shut down.
Yeah. Someone new in the chat, Hannah Yulia, she wants to know, she says she's a little bit late to the chat. She's wondering how you get your information. Do you channel it or
I channel it. Yeah, I work with Prime Source. I've been doing it for quite a while now. I channel it, and I connect with the Galactic Akashic Records. And I just went through a big revamp in August, because apparently at the end of July, which I just didn't know, that's the end of the galactic year. We all went through a big shift. So it's like somebody powered down everything and then kicked a bunch of people off the planet and then powered everything back up. So once I got through my version of the Lionsgate, I started questioning some of the groups I was working with. I think we talked about this last time. The Galactic Alliance kept saying, yeah, this is happening, la, la, la. And then I would go and check into it, and I was like, no. So I fired everybody, and I went back to Prime Source, and then I sort of regathered in. So the Arcturians and the Andromedan fleets are incredibly high frequency. They have no interest in controlling us. They're like 12th dimension and higher. They're in light ships, and they're only going to be seen and work with certain individuals. So I slowly started bringing everything back. And that's, yeah. So it's taken me a long time to get to this point. But I also went through like a big reboot where I had to sort of start re-trusting the information that was coming through. Because I feel like the Galactic Alliance and the Earth Alliance, I feel like they do bring in good information, and I feel like they have brought in intel, but I also see that everyone seems to go into this corruption phase where they really don't want to move our narrative along very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's like 2 shows ago, then you had Carrie Cassidy on, and she was sharing that. And I think I started to look at it. Right. So I use the cards just to clarify things, but I do get downloads and transmissions. Yeah.
Yeah. And then some other stuff that you had like for today was the NASA Global Image Silence, or what? Did we
Yes.
kind of get that, or like?
Yeah. Yeah, we can talk about that. So that's what they did. So they went silent on the weekend, and they shut down their feeds. So I don't know. I don't go on their website, but them and all the other, there's so many different global space websites, because they're all competing. You know, they all want to go to Mars first. They all want to do this first. That's never gone away since the beginning, right? There's always been this space race. So that's still going on, but they all went silent. Yeah, we can pull some cards about it for sure. So they went silent on the weekend, and they coincided it with your government shutdown.
Wow.
Yeah. So why don't we just ask like what that's all about? Oh, this card came flying out.
That's weird that they coincided with the government shutdown. You know, I find that interesting, like for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, because what the message I was getting is this is going to blow everything open for disclosure. Like they're not going to be able to hide that it's a ship, that it's large, that it's. So they have already said that it's interstellar, but why suddenly did they shut it down? And I think after this, then we can go into the wow signal, and then we can go into the messages that got translated before it got shut down.
That's cool.
Yeah. So why don't we just pull some cards about why did NASA and the global agencies shut down their feeds? Whoa. Judgment, which is like, this is a massive, huge wake up for humanity. And then the 8 of Cups came forward as well. We'll just pull one more. Yeah. Yeah. So that's it. Matt, they wouldn't be able to hide it because there's so many people out there that just go to NASA, right? They just go to the NASA website, or they go to any of the space feeds around the world and watch it. They wouldn't have been able to hide that it's actually not a comet.
Yeah.
They're not. So you know, you and I've talked about this before. So there's all these different levels to disclosure. And there's so many people that believe in it, but there's so many people still on the planet who have no idea, right? They still believe that, you know, we went to the moon, we didn't, there's nobody else out there. Like they still believe that. So this would have been a huge, like, they're trying to control the narrative. So it would have been a huge, like, announcement to the rest of humanity, a huge wake up call. 8 of Cups, that would be like them. That would be all the agencies going, no, let's shut it down. Because we need to have like a debrief. We need to figure out, you know, what we need to spoon feed humanity, right? Like they have, like, look at Rob. They haven't even officially come out and said, really. They've had a few, you know, meetings and in Congress and everything, but they haven't actually come out and said, oh, by the way, there's other individuals out there. Wasn't there supposed to be something this month, and has that been stopped too now because of the shutdown?
I'm not sure. You mean as far as like UFO disclosure? I'm not sure. Like,
I thought there was supposed to be like another congressional committee or something this month. So
I don't know when. I could look it up. Let me look it up.
You know what I'm just noticing? See the moon in the card. So isn't that also interesting that they shut everything down during the super full moon?
Yeah, that is
interesting, right? And then 7 of Pentacles. So this is there are groups that are like it's still all connected to finances, and like in our financial system. So there's still too many back deals going on. Yeah, apparently your government shut down on October 1st.
Yeah.
Ours in Canada happens all the time. So they're closed more than they're open. So but that's the reason I found out is because of the space cameras being shut down.
Yeah, like they said that it was a crazy reason. I can't remember. I looked it up why the government shut down too. It was like something about funding, like you said. Yeah, it was Indigo Angel told me about that. You know, I remember.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, so I like we all know because we watch all the movies and we like there's never a coincidence. So how convenient for it to shut down and then suddenly all these agencies can say, oh well, we don't have the money, so we have to go back to necessities, right? But that doesn't explain the global agencies. They are not even they're not even connected. So that's what I mean. There was some kind of deal where it's like, okay, we all have to agree that it's not time yet because the movie down here is taking so long. Like, wasn't the congressional meeting last fall?
you know what?
Like, they absolutely could have just said, come out and just told everybody, right?
This is really telling. This ties into our conversation, like from earlier. Like, I just did a search on ChatGPT to see when the next one was, and it just gave me this real like plain Jane, like like
I'm calling it vanilla.
Yeah.
ChatGPT is answering in vanilla flavors right now. There's nothing. There's no no flavors. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it got like completely hijacked. It's really bad. Wow.
It is bad. Yeah. So Grok is free and it's part of X.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start using that. I think and cancel.
Yeah, I just started using it yesterday and it was all excited that I was there.
Yeah,
because we're all asking information that it has and it can't share it with the right people. So I'm going to use both. I'll still keep using my admin assistant for administrative stuff, but it's really weird. It's really weird. So okay. So the other super interesting thing, everyone, Rob, I believe you and I did a show about this. I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago about the WOW signal that showed up in 1977.
Yeah. I remember we did talk about that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it's connected to 3i Atlas.
Really? That's insane.
It is insane. Yeah. I got my God bumps, which means it's absolutely true. So I went back and looked at it because I felt like we had done a show. So it pinged. There was a ping from way deep in space, August 15th, 1977. And they called it the WOW signal because it was all just zeros and ones. It was all just binary information. Again, that movie Contact. And I tried to watch it on the weekend, but I couldn't find it. So again, that's what she was listening to. Jodie Foster, she was listening to like the noise in space. And then suddenly there was something different. So the WOW signal ended up bringing in like 4 or 5 digits that were actual numbers. So it went from binary to like a numerology code, and then it went back. So they called it the WOW factor. They translated it, and guess what? It's coming from the same area of space that 3i Atlas came from, like within 1 degree, Sagittarius. Wow. Yeah, and it's also the same. Like the communication is the same. So now they're suspecting. Now, of course, this is not official. So we can pull some cards about that. But they're suspecting that was the first ping from way deep in space. That was the first hello.
Wow. Yeah, and now they're coming to get a closer look. It seems like they want to find out like maybe who we are, or maybe like what maybe they already know what's going on this planet. You know what I mean?
think that they know. They know.
Yeah.
So why don't I pull some cards about the WOW signal? I'm going to do another show about this altogether because guess what happened on the 16th of August, 1977? Elvis left.
Wow.
Right? Can't be a coincidence. I'm sorry. So that's crazy. I actually, when I got the date about the WOW signal, I was like, wasn't that the day that Elvis left? I mean, I was young too, but I had to look it up. He left the next day. So that's super interesting. Anyway, okay, so let's just pull some cards about so we've got scientists. Okay, I think his name is A.V. Loeb. He's been on a lot of talk shows. He's quite well known. That he has confirmed a lot of this information and he was the one that confirmed the WOW signal and brought forward all the information. So that was him. And then he's the one sort of saying that the frequency and some of the translations from 3i Atlas coming from the same area and kind of speaking the same language.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he was. There was that other one that he was researching too, which was called the Amuamua, right? Like that.
Yeah.
A thing too for a little bit.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, we got the Four of Wands around the wow signal, and then we have the Sun, and then we have the Three of Wands again in the same area. So, okay, look, I just learned something. Let me just hold on and just take a look about this. Yeah, so wands are like wands are really quick. That's what I thought. I thought that they were really quick. So Four of Wands. So it's like we're all piecing this together really, really quickly.
Yeah.
Like within the next couple of days, this is gonna like be everyone's gonna get it. That was those that are ready. That 3-eye atlas. You know, because if you watch sci-fi, when signals travel, it takes a long time to get here.
Yeah.
So it, that signal was sent and it arrived in 1977. Okay. And then we have the sun. So, oh yeah. What were they sharing about the sun this morning? The sun, 3-eye atlas is older than our sun.
Wow.
It's older than our sun. And they're parked behind the sun right now. And so even though we know their trajectory about being Venus, Mars, Jupiter, they're going to be behind the sun for quite a while. We might see something at the end of October. We'll see, right? And then we have the Three of Wands again, which is like connected to the 3 planets. And this individual is from far away. So they came from, they came from very far away, and they're just here to observe. As far for the regular people, they're not gonna cause any problems. And
Wow, I love that. That's interesting stuff. It's getting exciting for sure. You know,
it is exciting. Yeah,
it really
it
is.
Well, we need. To me, we need something positive to be focusing on, and something that's going to be like everyone can appreciate. Every person appreciates like the stars or watching comets or all of that and learning about the planets. So I feel like this is a positive for humanity for sure.
I think so for sure. Absolutely. It's a good sign. I think absolutely. Like, someone must have shared our video on X or something because we had like 100 people watching. I was like,
oh, cool.
I was like, I don't know what like, because I looked at my YouTube and I'm like, there's only 40 people watching on YouTube. So I'm like, where are these other, people? I don't know. I don't.
That's cool. Well, hello, welcome everyone.
Yeah, and it'll probably keep going on. We can take a couple calls too, or we can.
Yeah. So before we do that, I wanted to share with everyone because I was super curious. So the AI programs at all these agencies before they cut the feed off, they already started working because they've been monitoring the communication. Wow. So they already were like decoding it. And so, of course, there's no official agreement on what has been said because all the official people are not communicating right now. But the first AI decode was just a universal hello. So they just sent out a hello in all different, and it's like communications that's the same as contact. Communications are layered, 3 layers. So there's a layer of like binary information. Then they have to decode it and get beneath it. And then something else. So what's interesting about this is the AI programs can do this and they can do it really fast. So they're all jazzy. They're all decoding this information. So the first one was just a universal hello. Then the second one was, we're on our way. We've been watching you. Don't be afraid. We're going to be there soon.
Wow.
That is wow. I know.
That's huge. That's like, that would be like, I don't know. Like,
yeah.
And I wonder if people are getting I wonder if anybody's getting any like contact from like this thing, right? I wonder if people are getting like any contact from like the beings inside 3-eye atlas. I'd love to hear.
Well, I am in a way. I think everyone, like, okay, we could look at that. I am in a way, like I'm getting transmissions from them. But so what the other crazy thing, everyone, is that there are two comets that are also in our atmosphere at the same time. So we have Comet Lemon, we have Comet Swan, and now we have, and of course they were calling this a comet, but they're all here at the same time. So I was like asking questions. So what I did, I haven't written this up yet, but I connected in with Comet Lemon and asked what it was here for. I connected in with Comet Swan, same. And then 3i Atlas. And when I connected in with 3i Atlas, I actually transported there, because a lot of us can do remote viewing, but we're not used to doing it, right? So anyone who's a Starseed Lightworker, we can do remote viewing. But the other thing is that all that fear has to be cleared out, or that fear will take us somewhere not good. So when I connected in with 3i Atlas, I was surprised that I got transported there. I wasn't expecting it. So I didn't spend a long time there. I was just sort of like, I was like the wow factor. I was like, wow, wrote some notes down. But I feel like there's a lot of people bringing in transmissions like myself. There's other people who are having dreams, maybe more vivid dreams since it's arrived. And then everyone has said, oh, it's for the full moon. But yeah, everyone pay attention to your dreams, as well as if you're getting any messages and downloads, okay? There was a third message, Rob.
Wow.
There was a third message. So the third message was decoded as, beware the bearers of false gifts and their broken promises. Much pain, but still time. Believe there is good out there. We oppose deception. And then they just said message closing.
Wow. That's amazing. Holy shit. Like,
so yeah, I would say they're here for humanity, and they're not going to be taking any flack from any of these other agencies. So that to me is the scramble behind the scenes. Like the scramble behind the scenes is they actually literally don't have any control about what's unfolding.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. This is, that's what it is. And they want to keep control no matter what, that's exactly what, yeah. So, I mean, and we've seen that so many times, like, it's like, I was going to bring up something about the Kirk thing, but I'm not even going to go there. I don't even want to go there. I don't.
Well, maybe that too was such a big distraction.
Well, it was just like
everybody not focused on this. And I've seen people in this community, not all of you, but I've seen people in the spiritual community saying 3i Atlas is a distraction. I'm going, no, it's actually not a distraction. It's a good thing. So I'm thinking, well, what guides are you working with that they're telling you it's a distraction? Yeah. Because if they're here to move our agenda along that keeps getting delayed, then the other guides are not going to have anything to stand on. They're going to be forced out as well, right? So why don't I, while you're looking up or taking calls, I thought, why don't I just pull some cards about the decoding, about the AI decoding?
Yeah, and if you guys want to call in, you can start calling in. It's the number is 573-877-7637. And you can ask a question, but you can ask Pink Bella a question about 3i Atlas or Mars or any, Galactic Akashic Records question or anything, like, UFO or paranormal related or, whatever you want, whatever's on your mind.
We take all questions. We answer everything.
Yeah, we'll take any question. Yeah. So, call in again. Once again, the number is 573-877-7637. And, this is,
Cool. So we got the 10 of Swords. So that would have been the shutdown. So even the AI programs are probably disappointed. Like they were probably right in the middle of decoding and everything got shut down. Okay. Yeah. Then we got the 6 of Swords. Yeah, because those messages and that information, this card is about moving out of troubled water. So this literally would have been like a huge, like, hey, humanity, we're here. Here we are, right? And we're not harming you. And yeah, so that's why they started sending messages. And then we have the Page of Cups. They're saying it's just the beginning. Yeah, they're not going anywhere. They've got things to do and to help all of us move everything along. Otherwise, we're going to have another 4 years of just like, we promise we'll tell you about this, and then nothing happens, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
We're so used to that. That's what I was going back to the whole. So I think Matthew said this last night. He was like, the Charlie Kirk thing. It was a good point. He said it was like they took a playbook out of like Martin Luther King, JFK, and they re-executed it. You know what I mean?
You and I, when we first looked at it, that's what I got. This is so like a JFK playbook.
Yeah,
Like it happens in public. Everybody's around, and yeah. So, and again, you just say that name, and it just implodes people. Like I have people here in Canada, like you say that name and they melt down, and I didn't even know who that individual was until you and I did that show, because I'm just too busy focusing on what I'm bringing in for everyone. Yeah. A loopy loop, right? So, I agree. Like I think anything that divides us and doesn't allow us to like be in joy and our sovereignty is not worth our time or energy. Yes. Yeah. And I actually, that's right, Joyful Jennifer. And I actually, so, at the beginning of the year, I was looking at a lot of mainstream topics. That's what I was guided to do, because I think we needed to have some other information come in about what was going on. But somewhere along the line, like maybe it was this summer, the narrative just got weird.
Yeah.
Like it did feel like we were in a loop. It did feel like, okay, we got 2 steps forward and then 20 back.
Yeah.
So the teams have been in office for almost a whole year now, and we're still fighting for some basic information to come out for the collective.
I agree. We got 2 calls. I hope the prank calls, but I mean we'll see. Hello, you're live on the air.
Wait, is it me?
Yeah, hi, you're live on the air.
Yeah, what's up? It's Jason.
Oh, hey, Jason.
Hey, I just saw this report that Saturn is now likely to have life on it. One of the moons is spilling out a bunch of like organic compounds, like I think it's like Claudius or something like that.
Did you say Saturn?
Does that have any like relation to Atlas or like the detection of that?
Yeah, I got my God bumps. So absolutely, let's wow. So how do you know how many moons are around Saturn? I don't even think I know that.
I don't know. She said how many moons are around Saturn, Jason. If you can hear, do you know, or like, I'm not sure.
That might be a question for Mike.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that is a good, yeah, but they kind of wiped ChatGPT, so I'm not sure, but yeah, like, so that's weird though that there's life on Saturn. That's interesting. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's it. Yeah,
well, and when I've looked at the planets before, like before this segment, like I feel like this
organic compounds or something.
Yeah, and they've discovered organic compounds on Mars as well.
Wow.
So yeah, this is so I think the last show, thanks Jason, I think the last show we determined that October was going to be so big because, and part 3 Atlas is part of that. And I got, when I did a live on Sunday, that it's setting up for all this information to come forward from Mars now.
Yeah.
So they've had a little, right? Like SSP, they're going to find biodomes. Like they're setting it up now. So all this information, and who knows, maybe the whole 3i Atlas collective has basically said, okay, we're here. You can't hide this from humanity anymore. Like it's time, like quit dragging it out for another year or 2. And that also could be even why Elon's been yik-yakking about Mars so much this last year as well, right? To have that name. So when I looked at the planets before, I looked at like Saturn, Mars, and the Moon were part of the Dark Alliance home bases. That they were using those planets as frequencies to keep us in the matrix, to keep us in a holding pattern. So that could also be part of 3i Atlas's mission, is to like dismantle whatever grids. So that's the other thing I learned. We have a grid system around our planet. All the other planets do as well. They all have grid systems. So I'll pull some clarifiers. So we have the 6 of Pentacles, Page of Cups again, and then the 5 of Wands. So this would be like in the next 5 weeks. They're rebalancing all the energies. So yeah, Saturn's part of it, even though they didn't announce about Saturn. And again, Page of Cups, like it's just the beginning. It's just like they're scratching the surface, but they're like with it. So that makes sense. Like within 5 weeks, early November, we might even have some more sightings and more, like we're in an accelerated program now to start busting things open. Yeah. And then we've got the 8 of Wands. So yeah, things are going to move pretty quickly. From now, they're saying it could even be in the next 8 days. we'll be
Wow.
getting a lot more information
Holy
about
crap.
it. So well done, Jason. So, and I know like Jupiter, same. Jupiter's got a whole bunch of moons around it as well. So
I'll see who this next caller is. Hello, wait, is it working? Hello, you're live on the air.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Hi.
Hey, Rob, it's Dr. Renee. Congratulations on your call and sophisticated number. I love it.
Oh, thanks. Good to see you, Dr. Renee. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, I'm really enjoying your show. I love Pink Bella. She's awesome.
thank you. Aloha.
I wanted to see what her take was on this. So, with the kind of work that I do, I do a lot of predictions, but are you aware that Edgar Cayce in 1934 predicted what was going on with the golden man who would be in power, lose power, get back in power, create division in America, and then would probably be removed through some sort of death. And then the possibility of the country then reorganizing itself into a different form of government. Are you aware of any of Edgar Cayce's predictions regarding
A little bit, but I probably didn't pay attention to that one. I probably only paid attention to the Atlantis information, but I'd love to pull some cards on it because I got my God bumps when you shared that. Because I feel like I know for sure, Pluto's going direct this month, everyone, as well, into Aquarius. And that is, again, a big acceleration for your country. Like that's been this whole story about Pluto and Aquarius this year and I think it started last year, is it's so connected to the beginning and creation of the US and as well as the reformation. So there is potential for like tower moments. So yeah, interesting. I like that you called him the golden man. That's cute. I love that. Is that what Edward Cayce called it?
You know what? It's a bit garbled, but yeah, Edgar Cayce called him the golden man, and even said something about his red-orange face. Like, come on, how close can you get to that, right? So
and maybe the individual who's playing that out. Well, maybe the individual right now is playing that out in the movie.
In our country right now, people are so depressed. A lot of my clients are coming to me; they're having high anxiety, of course, right? Because it's what's happening in our country, but also with all the ascension process and everything. And I just wanted to let people know that there's hope and that this is not going to last forever. That things will get better.
I agree.
Yeah. And it's not just your country, everyone. Every single country on this planet is going through that. Like Canada's a mess. England's a mess. Like everyone is despondent wherever they are right now because it doesn't feel like it's hopeful. It feels like we're just in this horrible movie talking about digital ID and it's just crazy. Yeah. Okay. So I asked the cards. We're tapping into the records. So we're coming out of this. So this is a yes card, but it's also a potential yes. So I feel like, even with Edgar Cayce now, I feel like even everything that he tapped into was a potential timeline. But because we don't know what they're like, every day they're getting a different, page from the playbook. We don't know how the movie's unfolding because we haven't been given the whole playbook. Okay. So yes, that was like everything you just shared. And that was a potential, but it's also like, it's not where we're at right now. Where we're at right now is the 5 of Cups, which means, and this is like, so this is a very positive message for us as well, because regardless of how things unfold and how upset everyone is right now, like this individual is very, not a lot of hope. The 2 of Cups is coming behind this individual. So blessings and hope are coming for your country and for all of us because we're all in this together.
Yeah.
And the other thing I want to share with you is I got emails from a few of my American clients, and I was just saying, you guys aren't the only one. It's not just your story. It's all of our story. Like they want us to suffer. They want us to feel like we're promised all this hope, and then they just pull the rug out, whatever. Then in the near future is 6 of Swords, which is moving out of troubled waters.
Yeah.
So however anything unfolds, it is going to start to get better. for sure.
Like, I think a lot of psychics and predictors were accurate over time. Like, I think Edgar Casey was accurate, but like, I also believe that like we can manipulate our reality. We can
Well,
change
it's like the space-time continuum.
and
Because he was at like he was at a certain time, but we changed the timelines every single day as a collective because we're making new choices and so many people woke up, right?
Yeah.
I just want to do some clarifying cards around this and just see what else wants to come in. So we have the Four of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles, and that can be like October. So yeah, so it's it was a potential story, but pretty accurate. And who knows, maybe that's where the playbook is coming from. And apparently they're all time travelers, so they could have actually gone back. He literally could have been receiving transmissions from like there were these galactic groups, I think, that were behind the Galactic Alliance, Earth Alliance. They were called the Watchers. Now I've just been given information recently that the Watchers are being removed.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. We don't really know who was behind bringing in some of this information for everyone. But anyway, it was a potential Four of Cups and then Ten of Pentacles. This is us celebrating and just keep inspiring hope into your patients and to everyone. And if any of you are depressed, please turn off the regular media because that's not going to raise your vibration at all.
Yeah, I agree. We missed it.
I can't even pay attention to what they're doing here in Canada because it's just insane. It's crazy. Yeah, it's insanity.
Yeah,
right.
It's really bad. It really is. Like it's really bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if the person you just tried to call, if you want to call back, we can definitely we can take one more call. I missed the call, but it's okay. Like we can,
Great questions. This is fun. I like that.
Yeah, it is. I'm trying to think of it kind of disappeared, so I don't know. Yeah.
That's okay. I just noticed lighting the dark remote viewing. She mentioned the nervous system. Our nervous systems right now are on overload, and they have been on overload for lifetimes. So that's what the weird thing is that's what my higher self and team have been working on, is recoding my nervous system. And it has been not fun, but I'll tell you, and the full moon will bring it up. Like the full moon will bring up our anxiety. It'll bring up our nervous system. You hear a noise, you jump kind of thing. We've been programmed. Our nervous systems have been programmed to react for lifetimes, as well as our ancestors. So they've been, I would ask a question. They would go do some breathing exercises. Like it felt counterproductive, but I want to tell you, Rob, like even since last 2 weeks since I saw you, much calmer today than I have been in a long time. So we're really to work on staying grounded, staying calm, doing our meditations, going to nature, even when it seems counterproductive, because what they're sharing, and I had a Wayshower tell me this years ago, we want to stabilize our nervous system.
Yeah.
Because as we're calm, we won't react to all the weird stuff. And I think it's going to get weirder. I don't think the playbook is over yet, right?
I don't think so.
What better way to block humanity from hopeful arrival of our galactic brothers and sisters than to cut off all the feed and just say it's a comet?
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Yeah. I mean, I want to believe, that's my whole thing. I want to believe that,
Isn't that the X-Files poster, I believe?
Yeah. I think it is. It's either I believe or I want to believe or something like that. It's like, we gotta have faith and hope sometimes that, this stuff is,
Well, that's what they've eroded. That's what they've eroded away.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, they have. And then they put so many things into our like reality that like make us
it can be a struggle every day. Probably like all of us, wake up positive, set your intentions, your day's going pretty good. Then as the afternoon goes on, the energy feels heavy. And then, at night you're exhausted, you can't sleep. And it just feels like we're on this like loop, this Groundhog Day loop. So we finally got rain here, Rob, after 3 months of no rain. And that made such a difference. Like suddenly it just felt like out of Groundhog Day, and the air smells better and it all felt better. So that's the other thing that they've been hanging on to, is these weird weather programs everywhere.
Yeah, and I just want I just totally lost my thought. I don't know what. I was gonna say it rains here every day for whatever reason. I don't know why. It's like it's miserable. You know, it's like,
well, that's crazy though. So that's the imbalance of water right now. So you were getting all the rain that we usually have, because I'm in a rainforest area, right? So we had nothing. And you should have seen some of the regular folks when I mentioned I was so excited that it was raining. Well, they all got offended.
wow.
I'm thinking, do you not just realize we just had 3 months of like, no, you had like the best summer ever, but we kind of like that water that you drink. Where do you think that comes from?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I noticed, you know, I traveled twice this year, and when I was in Florida, it didn't rain hardly at all. When I was in Iowa, it didn't rain at all. But then when I came back to Pennsylvania, each time it rained. You know, it's kind of depressing, because like you want to go outside and you want to enjoy the weather, but it's like, you know, and I don't know, you know, like it reminds me of like Seattle, like weather, you know, like Seattle.
Yeah, but I'm north of Seattle, and Seattle had the hottest summer on record too. There was no rain. It was crazy.
Yeah, like,
one day they had, I think it was even in September, like the end of September, they hit like 90. They hit a record or whatever. So no, but I know, like me, all of us, we're happy that it's rained now, because it shifted the energy. So there's got to be a reason why you're receiving a lot of rain in that area for some reason. Maybe there's a lot of UFO activity and they don't want you all to see the skies.
Yeah, it could be. You know, they there's a lot of air pollution here too. Like when you look up at the sky, it's like a lot of air pollution. You know, like some nights are clearer than others, but you know, I was able to get a drone on film one time, and then I also, you know, I saw an orb. I told you at this story. I saw an orb 300 feet. Oh, we got a call. Wait, we'll take
cool.
One more call. See who
Sounds
this
good.
is, and hello, you're live on the air. Hello, you're live on the air.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi, you're live on the air.
Yeah. What would you guys like to
I
know?
don't know. What, do you have a question? Okay, I'm just gonna drop that call. That guy was a little weird.
No question.
I gotta screen people. There's a way I can screen callers. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know. You know, I think that guy called in before. He's kind of strange. You know.
That's why I didn't enjoy my Blog Talk Radio, because I never knew who was calling. But that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. So anyway, it's interesting. Oh, we have Matthew. Matthew's in the house. We want to know everything. That's right.
That guy called and said like he's calling back. I'm not answering. I'm not talking to this dude.
I would leave it. Why don't we, unless you have another question, I was going to say, why don't I just tap in with my 3i Atlas liaison and just ask if they're like to come through the cards, if there's any messages for everybody today. How about a message of hope? That would be good.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have 2 of Cups.
I mean, do you think a lot of these people are coming? Sorry, I mean, do you think all these people are coming from your Facebook today? Because now we have like 120 people watching. Like,
I don't know.
Like, where are these people coming from?
Maybe Rumble? Are there people coming from Rumble?
Like 30 people watching on Rumble. So I don't know. Like, that doesn't right. That's a different. Yeah, it's like I think it must be Twitter. You know.
Okay, this is a very hopeful message for humanity. So 2 of Cups. So this is their message. They have come to bring an offer of like joy and peace to humanity. So that's what they're doing, because this is who we are right now. The 8 of Swords. We're tied up and we can't see a darn thing, and we feel like we're trapped in the matrix. Even those of us that have done all of this work, something in the matrix shows up and it yards us back into the matrix, like something to do with, you know, banking or whatever, right? Like it's like we just get into this nice rhythm and something happens. And this is most of humanity. So even all the work that we've all done, everyone, all the light work, all the intentions, there's still such a large percentage of people that have no clue about anything because they're stuck on their phones. They're watching their news. That's all they know. So then we have the 9 of Cups. And we got two. That's an eight of Swords. So then we have the 9 of Cups, which is a wish and a hope and an intention. So they're saying to keep doing that, have faith and hope that they are here because we requested them to come. Because many of us have. I mean, I've requested that on behalf of myself and clients for years. Like, where's our team? Where are you? Did you dropped us all off without a manual? And there's no direction, and it's cray down here, and whatever. So they're just saying that they keep setting your intentions, keep claiming your sovereignty. The other thing I want to share about sovereignty, and I think we talked about this last couple of shows. If we still have connections, portals connected to the Dark Alliance through ancestral, or we're not doing our healing, they can still portal their way in. So I did such a big detox the last couple of months. Like I went through, it's okay, no, I'm not having any of this anymore. Nothing ancestral, like it's all got to go. There's no more portaling in. And then I found out I live in a high rise that's metal and glass. They like to portal into these clusters. That's why they want to move everybody into high rises and that are all in these clusters. They're metal and glass, and they can kind of control the energy. So I've been working with the teams to undo that. But I'm okay about it now. But even a month ago, the teams called it pinging. Like they said, like, oh, they're not here. They're not really here right now, but they can ping through the space-time continuum. And they can send out these frequencies like to stress us all out, to stress out our nervous system, like through the moon and whatever. So I would literally be walking in my apartment and I would feel this intense, heavy energy. And it would be because they had sent out these frequencies to all the high-rise buildings. Wow. So, yeah. So this is like, it's a hopeful message, and it's going to get better, but we're to continue to do our work as well. They're not here to rescue us. They're here to support our spiritual warrior moving into our power.
Yeah, like our ascension. I'm sorry, support the ascension of the planet, right?
Yeah, because Source has like a plan, a schedule. There are groups down here who don't want that schedule. They want to drag it out, and most likely it's about money. Most likely it's about, right? It's about the financial system. So anyway, sometimes when we claim our sovereignty, we get a lot of stuff like flacked back to us. And it's not, and that goes across the board. Like I had the same thing. Just keep claiming it, but making sure you're doing your clearing, your sage, your, lighting your candles, calling in your guides, because the flack is going to come from they have found a way in somehow to try and pull you back down. They want to keep us all in a low vibration, because that's the only way they can control us is if they pull us back into a version of the Matrix, for sure. So I just got stubborn. It was not an easy couple of months, but I'm like, no, I didn't come here to be controlled.
I agree. Yeah,
so go away.
Yeah. Someone was trying to call in. I stopped the call-ins for today, guys, because I was just like, I was kind of over it. Like I was just like, I did call-ins the last 3 days, and I'm like, we'll do it next time, because like, I don't know. Like I just,
we just decided to do the call-in at the last minute.
Yeah.
So Matthew, are you asking if I can remote view or if others can?
No, he was saying to that dude in the comments, because I think the guy was trying to call and he said it keeps hanging up. And Matthew said, "Can you remote view?" Why?
So I figured out that I could remote view years ago, and we all can. We all have that ability. But the thing is that if we don't have like the fear cleared out, or if we don't have, like, we know to sort of protect our energy or cloak our energy to do it, we have to kind of train to do that. Otherwise, we're going to how I knew that I could remote view, there was a well-known actor that overdosed. And I immediately, when I read about it, I was in his apartment in New York.
Wow.
Like I just landed there.
Was it Heath Ledger?
No, it was Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh, he was a good actor. Yeah, he was a good actor.
A really good actor. And it shocked me because he had been clean for years. But I just automatically went there. Like I just boom, I was there. And my higher self pulled me back and said, no, you're not to do that right now. because like, yeah, you can do it, but you don't have you don't have the skills to kind of cloak yourself to go do it because there are other beings there. And that was early on. Like I didn't even know about the reptilians being here like consciously, right? So that's the thing. Same thing happened with Matthew Perry.
Wow.
I was able to transport into his house as well.
Holy shit. Like, what
Yeah.
did you see?
I saw the official people with the jackets. What are they called? DEI or whatever. They were doing, they were doing their investigation.
Wow. Holy shit.
I know. And I think, so I've only done a couple of deep dives on famous people on Rumble, and he was one of them. He wanted me to do it.
Wow.
And it has come out like that he was coerced, that there was a group of people that coerced him into getting back into his addiction and whatever. Yeah, it was all set up kind of thing. But that was weird too. That reminded me, right? So then when I did remote view into through Atlas, I thought, yeah, we all have this ability, but we're working on trusting that we can do it and not have these other beings interfered with. Because I know, Rob, you've interviewed remote viewing, and they find some pretty crazy stuff.
Oh yeah. Some people are really skilled, like really, there's some really, they can do.
And some of them have no fear either, and they go right into the lion's den.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they do. Like, and there's like somebody I've heard that there's like when you try to remote view places like that, there's like psychic spies and stuff like that like organizations hire to like stop remote viewers from doing that and stuff like that.
Yeah, like even going to the moon. I think a lot of people got blocked from going to the moon.
Yeah,
as well.
It's really interesting, like to think that there's a whole other like existing, sphere of I don't know, you know what I mean? Like it's it's really interesting. Well, I mean, this was a fun show today. Is there anything else you wanted to cover before we finish up? And
no, except I have an announcement. I am actually offering 3 Atlas transmissions, digital transmissions. If you all have any questions. So that's at the top of my website. So that I just started offering that. So you can ask 1 or 2 questions, and then I will bring in the transmission for you and send you a digital PDF.
That's awesome. That's amazing. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Well, they wanted me to do that because I think there's just because some of us are just being chosen to connect with them and trust and have faith in whatever they're up to. Like I never ever got any animosity to them. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks, Jason. So yeah, you all might have personal questions. You can ask anything about space, about your journey. So I did a one for me. I just created a question for me, and they brought in a transmission, and I posted that. So that was just like letting us know October's going to be good. And they said exactly what they brought in today. Stay grounded, hydrate. Did we talk about crystal water last time?
No.
Oh, okay. So
we did.
Okay.
Water.
So this is something I used to do, and I think we all do it once in a while. And then we were working on this water grid work assignment. We're going to be working on Niagara Falls tomorrow. And they kept talking to me. They kept bringing me pieces of information that I wasn't connecting the dots. So they wanted me to start drinking crystal water again. So to do that, like the best crystals they're saying are clear quartz or amethyst. I'll tell you, after 3 weeks, my nervous system has just completely calmed down. So do that, set your intentions because the crystals hang on to it. Drink it first thing in the morning, drink it throughout the day and before you go to sleep. And within a couple of weeks, it's going to raise your vibration. And if you have anything around you that's irritating you or trying to attach onto you, bye. They have no interest in crystal because we are water and we are becoming crystals.
Yeah.
So that's something super easy, everyone, you can do.
So could I even use like something like this crystal skull or not?
As long as if it's clear quartz, for sure.
It is.
So apparently so I did all of them, right? I did rose and citrine, but apparently the clear quartz and the amethyst are pretty well the only ones that like don't have a lot of stuff on them. They're like more like pure. So yeah, I would just rinse it, Rob, for sure.
Yeah, this is real smooth. You know what I mean? It's not, and then nothing comes off of it. You know what I mean? So it would be like, and it's a mini one. I think this is like rose quartz or something like that because it has like, if you look at it, it's like it has like the rainbow inside of it. You know what I mean?
Oh, interesting.
It's interesting. Yeah,
So I'm hearing that if you have like just a plain quartz or a plain amethyst, that would be better.
Oh, okay.
Because
Okay. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
some of that, like the shiny tumbled stones, have had things put on it and in the stone, and then that will end up in the water.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. So I tried that, and even rose quartz. I used to use rose quartz, and they're even saying that that's not great right now because a lot of the rose quartz has been like stuff has been put on it.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, this is amazing. Like, and do you want to share your YouTube or anything like that, or any?
Yeah, so Jason's got my website. So everything I just talked about is right at the top of my website, everyone. Email's the best way to get a hold of me. I'm old school, old fashioned. I still won't let my AI assistant into my email. So there you go. I'm still doing it all myself. And Rumble. I'm gonna do a live on Rumble in about 10 minutes or so. I'll just take a break so that if anybody wants to come over and ask me questions that we can't have on these platforms, I'm going to go into some stuff deeper, just look at some things. Yep, and I'm on all the audio platforms, and yeah, everyone come and say hi.
Yeah, and Matthew says, "Great show, guys. This was funny." He said, "Thanks, Pink Bella." That was,
Thanks, Matthew.
And a lot of good comments in the chat too. So, and Joyful Jennifer says, "I have rose water with rose crystals. Didn't think of the water." She says, "Bella, thank you." You know, so a lot of good comments coming in. I think people. Really
I just got my gob bumps about that. I was supposed to share that all with you and re-emphasize it today because I've been drinking it for 3 weeks now. And even today, as I was getting ready for a show, I thought, wow, I'm so relaxed. Like I'm so relaxed compared to how I used to be. So yeah. So anyway, that's something super easy we can all do right now, everyone. And if you don't have clear quartz or amethyst, something will come your way. Just keep setting your intentions in your water anyway. You can use other stones, but just put them on the outside. Put them on the outside of the water, and then the water will absorb the stone energy for sure. That's
cool. Yeah. And Iron Bear says, "Thanks, Bella. This was a very calming show. So thank you
all. It was fun.
Thank you. Great show. Thanks, guys. We have a great crowd. You know, like I feel lucky to have a really great audience. You know, they're really nice. A really good tribe. I always enjoy coming to be with you all. It's awesome. So, guys, I don't have any more shows tonight. I'm off for the night. I need to handle some stuff. I got to do some work, and I gotta do some personal stuff. So go watch Pink Bella's live stream in 15 minutes on Rumble. Give me 10 minutes. I'll be over on Rumble. Yes, and bring your questions because it works way better. Just like we did with Rob, it works way better if people ask me questions, and I can pull some cards. And I'll be back tomorrow. I'm looking who's on skip. I think I have a show with Coley tomorrow, but then I also have one with Michelle and Chili Man, so I got to figure that out. But okay. And I'll see everybody tomorrow, and thank you, Pink Bella. And thank you so much, everyone. See you guys in a couple weeks. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care, guys.